You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a matchup where time of possession will be a focus. The Cardinals are top 10 in rushing yards, and they're going up against the Saints team that will need to keep the running game in check. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
On second down, here's Yeldon. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. It's complete to Flainer. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handing it to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Caught by Snead over the middle. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
Dayon Buchanan was drafted as a safety, but makes many of his plays as a linebacker in their scheme.
They'll run it again with Yeldon. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go. Green, 39 now. Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone! Here we go now. Green.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Cardinals. J.J. Nelson, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Now the veteran punter for the Saints, Thomas Morstead, on to punt on 4th down. This is taken at the 10. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Boy, he was terrific last week, wasn't he? Put together a fantastic game, and now he gets to swagger out onto the field full of confidence and ready to go this week.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to loft one deep left. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, that was the fly route for a touchdown, and since he caught that one and scored it, I got to tell the story. Before the game, we were standing there. He was running deep routes, dropped one. It bounced up and just hit me right in the gut, and I said, come on, man, but there was no drop.
Yeah, you okay now?
I'm good.
All right,
I'm good.
We got the ice pack up here. You're just fine. What I loved about it was the subtlety of the route, because everyone knows he's fast. They're going to play him for that route first and foremost, but sometimes it's a head fake. It's varying your speed off the line of scrimmage. It's giving the defensive back different angles to think about. Is he going inside? Is he going outside? And then, as you noted, he just took off past him. Oops. There he goes again.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On play action, Rodgers. Catch here, left side, Thomas. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their big-bodied receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Now to return, this is David Johnson. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Blue 90! Blue 90! 51 to Mike! 51 to Mike! All right, now, look at 56.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, New Orleans. Their dangerous wide receiver with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints are back within a score. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the first quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down, because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
This will be taken in at the 1. He hurdles him.
Should get a gold medal for that one.
And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And a trio of touchdown passes so far. They've got the lead as well. All is good in their football world at this point.
And it's so much fun for our colleagues, right? Think about our producer, our director, everyone putting together these.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Let's go! Green, 39! Leopard!
They'll set up a throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability.
Brandon, we're not even out of the first quarter yet, and that's his 3rd receiving touchdown of the game. Tremendous job, and I think this might come under the heading of when someone has the hot hand, you've got to keep going back to him.
And on the defensive side, they better figure something out quickly.
Yeah, I think that no matter what, you've got to do something to slow him down. I don't care if it's double or triple coverage. Make someone else emerge, because right now, he's absolutely shredding him.
Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Cardinal defense, they head out to get set here. Last drive, touchdown surrendered. Here, see if they can stop him.
It's always a constant battle of letting the last series go, good or bad, but especially bad. Give up a touchdown. Okay, forget the finger pointing, forget the blame. Go back out and play the defense you know you're capable of and help your team out.
And then probably look to the leaders as always.
As always. They're going to be the ones going to grab some people and say, all right, let's do this thing.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Yeldon, the lone running back. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. It's complete. Flainer, right side. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his third catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
Yeah, maybe a little of both. Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. Plenty of scoring here already. EA Sports NFL Sunday with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a third down and a yard to start things out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. An extra DB added here for the Cards on third.
Blitzer play coverage.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
They keep it with Yeldon on first down. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Now T.J. Yeldon. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's got to be feeling pretty good, playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
So it'll be first down here after the run. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Here we go now. Green. Here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to loft. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Cardinals. Their dangerous wide receiver on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Now it's Rodgers. Left side and caught by Flainer. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Shift together here from the D-line. A first down carry now for Yeldon. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. After the penalty, it's Yeldon. Shedding the tackler that gives him some room. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
T.J. Yeldon's not afraid to drop a shoulder or run through some tackles, is he?
Not at all. I learned it in his high school days in Alabama, then, of course, stayed in state to play at Alabama. He could do that there.
And what I think is best about him, and when he's really on top of his game, when he's a little bit lighter, a little bit quicker, I think he's strong enough, he's compact enough to break those tackles. I think he's at his best at a shiftier weight. With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints get a bit closer.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Here comes Johnson on the return. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. Really tough drive, but that run help salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can...
Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Caught right side, it's Snead. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Still second down.
And ready now for 2nd and 9. Again, it's Yeldon. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. More from the desert after this. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first-half highlights and analysis.
LR, plenty to show in this one.
Going to be a busy man at intermission. Over the middle, it's Thomas. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust.
Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Rodgers to throw once more. And he's got his man. That's Snead. Touchdown, New Orleans. Willie Snead with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, Bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Saints defense ready to set up shop again here. Now the interception for them the last time, and that turned into 6 points.
You think during their break they reminded the offense that, hey, we helped you guys out a little bit, right? You know, they want to see if they can do it again for them. They're putting together an entire team game by how they're playing on defense.
So the interception the last drive, what will happen here?
Defense.
Got a little handsy there, defensive holding, Charles.
And defenders will get away with as much as you will allow. The 5-yard mark tells the officials where the line should be drawn.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Cardinals a first down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Set! Green, 39! Detroit! No, check! Patriot!
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to go up top again. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Clean. Gun. No. Check. Patriot. Watch him now, Barney.
He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They begin with a run by Yeldon. And he'll get this only up to about the 3. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. They come up in an offset eye. Here's a give to Yeldon. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the third quarter. Let me spit this out. Now here's Johnson. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. That's caught at the 25. A huge play there for Arizona. 51 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. Play clock winding down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it's the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal. The play clock's running down. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal.
This is where you're probably weighing the score and the clock. Third quarter, so maybe it's a little early to start worrying about how much time is left in the game. But if you kick the field goal, you make it a 2-score game. A tough balance and a tough decision for any coach to make.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Let's go. Get loud. I want to hear you.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. It's complete. Flainer, right side. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Marcus Golden in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. Marcus Wheaton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints are back within a score. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if a quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you could do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Illegal blocking the ball. Return team. Automatic first down.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. 82 yards. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. We focus our attention on the Cardinals defense now. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that. And the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one good for 12 yards. And that'll bring up a third down. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense.
It seemed like the situation was second and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
319!
They'll run the option left. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Caught right side at Snead. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and he didn't do it very often.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. He's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Rodgers now on first down. This is Cobb with a catch right side. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that leads to a New Orleans first down. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a handoff to Yeldon. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Out of the pistol, it's Yeldon. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Throwing now is Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Kobe Fleener, the tight end, his intended target. And it's 4th and 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this one is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Green 39! Green 39! Over!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. So both offenses come to life here in this third quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the fourth.
Now let's go. Blue, line it. Over.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Cardinals. Their dangerous wide receiver, 51 yards. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving him time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And it's incomplete. T.J. Yeldon, the one he was looking for. And that takes us from second to third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. Finding time. He's going to let this one go deep. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, New Orleans. Marcus Wheaton with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Saints have cut it back within a score.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. 64 yards. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And it's fielded at the 34. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now a handoff as they run left side. And an alley to run. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long, but after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. And quickly they get to the line. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he'll give it here to his running back.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still third down.
So a costly penalty and now a tougher third down situation. And now they'll run it here off tackle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at fourth down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the fourth.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their big-bodied receiver with his third touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, yes, that's his third touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game.
They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And the Cardinals' hands team able to secure the football. And now let's look at David Johnson. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on first down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in second and manageable.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Again, it's Johnson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point you've got to win at the point of attack, and on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll get this one. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Detroit! Now let's go! Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Here we go. 3-19!
And they give this time to the tailback. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense.
All right, now look at 56. Let's go. Look at 56. 3-19. 51, Mike 51. Hey, watch the ball. Watch it now, Barney. Watch the whip. Hurry up, here we go.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now Johnson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Hurry up, here we go. All right, now look at 56. Lucky 56.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Cardinals now heading out to defend. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down,
A lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky. Preach. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Rodgers to throw once more. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football. But today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now Rodgers, got to have this one. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Here we go now.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. That one looks like he'll throw here. Going up top. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you've got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. He's going to take another shot here. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final.